Bengal. I am so excited to introduce Miss Ransom.
Thank you.
To everybody. She is going to be here with us talking about the African American Veterans Arts and Cultural Corporation.
Yes, it is, girl.
Did I get it right? I'm
Yes, you
so
did.
excited to hear your story and for you to have joined us. So the first question always is, what is the name of your organization? I know we just said it. Can you say a little bit about why you named it the African American Veteran Arts and Cultural Corporation?
Thank you so much for having me. That's the first thing.
Of course.
So the second thing is the reason why this is a 501c3.
Okay.
So we're a not-for-profit organization. And the way the name came up is that I was interested in honoring our African-American military heroes and sheroes. And we have many that are here in Buffalo. So as I was trying to come up with a name, Carl Bailey, which also works at the Apollo Media Center, but has his own production company, which is Positive Nation Productions, he came up with the name because we wanted to go ahead and get funding. We wanted to get volunteers. We wanted to do something great in the community. So that's how that name came about.
So I absolutely love it. Like, I am so excited about your organization. I have already committed to being at your parade. So I'm a poli scientist. I went to go sit in political science classes where people are like, are you lost? So military governance, war is definitely something that is of high interest to me. And I know part of what you talk about is the history. So can you say a little bit about what your message is and what we want our students on our campus to know about our African American veterans?
Yes, I would be happy to. Our mission for the African American Veterans Arts and Culture Corporation is actually very simple, but also very unique and broad. It is to honor African American veterans. And I read a book years ago called The Path by Lori Beth Jones. She also wrote a book about Jesus CEO and things like that. And what I realized is that if you're not living your mission, you're living someone else's mission.
Okay, absolutely.
So what happened is I started finding out what my own mission is. And as I went through the process in the book, I realized that I've been living my mission all the time. And what it is, my mission, my personal mission, is to serve. I've served my country.
I was just going to say,
girl, stop it.
Okay, so Ooh. I want her to say her story. Can you say a little bit about your story? Where are you from? What school did you go to? And then your branch of service and your time.
Yes.
I'm really proud of her.
I was born and raised here in Buffalo. My mother is from Havana, Cuba. And
Big huepa, tú eres latina. Uh-oh. I didn't know.
And I went to Cuba with my sister and brother-in-law some years back when you had to go through Canada and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And met the relatives I never knew. I went to my mama's home, and that's the first time.
Look at me with my jaw open. I'm sorry. I don't even know why. Like, why?
Girl, stop.
So, do habla español? Do you speak Spanish?
No,
okay, we're going to work on that. Me and you together. I got you.
Yes.
I'm going to teach you Puerto Rican Spanish.
And girl, I went to my mother's house where she grew up, and I was amazed. That was the first time I understood that you felt like you were home and you were never there. Girl, I was amazed. I saw all my relatives. That's when genealogy.
But you're a Buffalo girl, right?
Yeah.
What high school did you go to?
Girl,
that's
I went to school.
Quintessential Buffalo question, period.
I went to school 41, school 39. I went to school 37. I went to East High School. I went to McKinley.
You went to
and
East
then
High
Buster.
School,
Girl, stop.
East Community High School. Shout out to them.
Yes.
You already know.
Girl, I remember we had did a walkout, girl, at East High School. To this day, I don't remember what we walked out for.
Yes, you do.
Because the learning was in the school.
Do.
The learning was in the school, and we out here being stuck on stupid.
So you're a Bengal, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we are at 91.3 FM WBNY at SUNY Buffalo State University.
Mm-hmm.
Stop playing with us. I always say we are a university now.
Congratulations.
So what did you study while you were here?
Well, that comes all the way back to this. I was an African American Studies major in my bachelor's degree, and then I was in a multidisciplinary studies program in the master's degree. And multidisciplinary studies is nothing but a general lib at a master's level.
Okay.
But I've always been into the community, into families, into my history, and which has been wonderful. So things have come full circle.
So what was first day of boot camp like?
Girl.
And what branch
my
did you serve
God.
in?
I was military police in the Army.
Okay, in the Army. In the
Military
greens.
police.
If anybody doesn't know, that's the green uniform.
Yes.
I'm a color person.
Yeah, and girl, because my last name is Ransom, can you imagine
Oh, they probably
when
teased.
I was trying to apprehend somebody? Oh, you can, let me have ransom. Yeah. It was something.
Okay, so where did you train? And
I
what year
trained-
did you sign up?
yes,
Do you mind me
basic
asking?
and AIT,
Okay.
which is advanced military training, and that was at Fort McClellan in Anniston, Alabama. I had never been there before, but what I found out in my research is that Fort McClellan used to also be a chemical base. And so
Oh,
what's
wow.
happening, you got people from Camp Lejeune that are going through something. What about us? Because we have also been dealing with toxic waste.
Oh, so I think that so much about American military history, I think, is a reflection of policy and history in so many different places. I studied the social benefit allocation system, which is, basically what do we give, who's we, and when and where and who gets it. And I remember wanting to figure out like where the first food stamps or government support were, and it was actually to Civil War veterans, if my memory serves me correct, in the way that was presented. So I know that so much of the way we treat our veterans and our current service people is a reflection of our values as a country. I know as a Latina, there's a lot that we're proud of our country about, right? And a lot that we can do better about. So how long were you in the Army?
Ooh, I enlisted for 3 years, but let me tell you that story.
Okay.
So, a lot of people, I always preface when somebody asks me about that, why did you go in the military?
Yeah.
And everybody doesn't go into the military for the same reason.
No, they do not.
And the reason why I went into the military is because, girl, my second marriage was falling apart and I wanted to be all I could be without him.
That's wonderful. And you certainly were. How many weapons did you learn how to use while you were there?
Well, we did an M16, we did a 45, a 38.
This might be a good time for me to say that I'm a Second Amendment girl. So that makes me really excited. I'm super proud of you.
Yes.
Norm, do you have a question?
No, I don't have a question right now, but Miss Ransom, I've met you on several occasions.
Do you know Norm? Everybody knows my producers.
And I just wanted to say, as I said, when we get off air, definitely would like to speak to you because I've been trying to contact and get with you for so long.
Oh, well, I'm here, baby.
I'm looking forward to
Same
speaking with
here.
you. Yeah.
Norm, thank you.
Oh, not at-
Norm knows a lot of people. If Norm doesn't know someone and Willie doesn't know someone, I get concerned. I'm like, but who are you and where have you come from? So thank you so much for sharing about your service. So you signed up for the U.S. Army in what year?
This was from 76 to 79.
Okay,
so obviously
that
I've been
was
up
a
for a
very,
while.
that's okay, but that was a really important time in American history,
Right, because it was the Vietnam
We were
era.
in the Vietnam era.
Just after the Vietnam War.
Which was a long-term
Yes.
military excursion commitment. I can't call it war because it was so much more than that, right? So thank you so much for your service, though. And I
you're
think
welcome.
every service person I see, especially those who wear the hat, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
important.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you. And on behalf of the office of the three of us, if you are a current student and you are also a member of our armed forces, which is presently enrolled, not discharged. I mean, talk to me about how you transitioned out of service and how that informed your present mission, because I feel like it's a continuation of the
yes,
one
it
you
is.
started.
You know, when I first got out of the military, I wasn't thinking about going into a veteran organization or anything like that. years later, I developed the Janetta R. Cole AMVETS Post number 24.
Let's go.
So it is a 501c19, which is when you're doing IRS and you're doing not-for-profits, that's what that is. You'll know by the IRS that that was a military organization. Janetta R. Cole, or Janetta Ramel Cole, is actually a Vietnam-era Navy nurse. And girl, we have a whole trailblazing street sign on the corner of Jefferson and Glenwood Avenue.
Who helped you put that up? What politician? So you can give them credit.
Wingo.
There you go.
Councilman Wingo.
There you go.
Yes.
That was earned.
And
very proud of that.
And you haven't heard nothing yet. We're getting ready to put up another trailblazing street sign for a World War II shero.
This is so cool. I am very into this. We should do a walking tour of all the different history places.
That'd be nice.
Don't get me involved with history because I will be here all day.
I already have a list of the places that we have done a African-American veteran scenic bus tour.
Oh my goodness.
And yes,
I'm
we
late.
need to continue
I'm very
that.
late, everyone.
Because what people don't learn in the schools, you can learn in your own community.
Yeah.
Because we have so many places. We have street trailblazing signs. We have public Buffalo Public Schools that are named after African-American vets. We have monuments. We have the post office that's going to be have a dedicatory plaque for Miss Indiana Hunt Martin, a World War II shero that was part of the famous 6888 Postal Battalion that kept the mail going and the morale up. Girl, please. And she's from Buffalo, New York.
Let's go. Mail is so important. So I want to know every single story. I feel like you have literally so much to give.
I do. I have a lot to share.
I'm going to ask you if I can write about you, right? Because I write Latina Her Story. I would love to write your story. Okay, so we have a couple minutes. I want people to know, one, how they can get involved with us, or two, what are things that they can support? What are things that they can do to support their present family or friends that are all in the armed forces, other than send them food, which you already know is the number one thing. Stop playing with them. And number three, where you see the future of your organization.
Moving forward, we have this parade that's be the second annual African American Veterans Parade. But what I wanted to also share is that a lot of people have gone through changes, dealing with white American soldiers. And we have to be clear about that. And as I was doing my research, our Hispanic brothers and sisters, our Native American brothers and sisters, we want all of them to be in the parade.
Oh, you mean
girl,
so everybody?
We're not playing with this. We're not playing with this.
Wait, because I was like, wait.
Yes.
So
the Rodriguez Post.
Okay.
Which is a Native American. which is a Hispanic post. Yes.
Call. We got to call Dinora. They actually are super cool too. We have the Hispanic Veterans Association. They put in work. I'll see you guys at the turkey giveaway next year. You already know the vibes.
But we want all of our brothers and sisters.
Oh, I'm totally coming. Yes. I'm totally bringing my son too.
And can be in it. Because
that's what I meant.
We're doing this parade. We put who we wanted.
I'm so excited.
We've already got the approval.
Did you really?
Girl, stop. Yes, we do.
Okay, so this
we
is
have
not
something
parade.
That we made.
So you want everybody to meet you at the parade, right? And then how can they be supportive before the parade? Is there signage or volunteers?
Tremendous volunteer opportunities, for youth. Also, with our adults, our seniors, we're looking for all of our veterans. So please, if you have a family member that's a vet, I don't care if they're in a wheelchair, crutches, we want you for real,
gentlemen,
because people need to see the sacrifice.
I will see y'all at the parade.
Oh, girl, it's going to be on and popping.
And that's calling all people who are veterans all over.
That's Norm.
Yes.
That's you, Norm.
Norm, are you coming to the parade?
I'll be there.
And be in it.
I'm gonna be with you.
Yes. Oh my God.
And shout out to his son, who I also will expect to be there, right? We're going to commit him. Yes. So we have a lot of different various activists within the veteran community. I love their stories. So I just want to shout out Barbara Nevergold, who's on the board of the Buffalo History Museum.
Yes.
And there is a new exhibit there that she has helped contribute to that I hope I'm not sure, are you aware of it? Did you?
Well, I know I'm part of the Uncrowned Queens.
Oh, of course you are.
And let me tell you.
Which I copied.
Oh, no, you don't know this one. I used to do international professional wrestling. My name was Sheena the Voodoo Queen. So you can look me up on the Uncrowned Queen.
My
I'm not playing with my life.
I love my show.
Yes. You never know who's walking down
You
the
have
street.
to be Sherelle. Okay, so I have someone I need you to connect with who's part of our WISPN program. So one, definitely the parade. Two, knowing the history.
Yes.
So I'm going to definitely sit with you and figure out how I can be a better steward of the history that you're sharing. But really excited about that, and just excited that the organization exists. So you had mentioned some other folks that helped you support it. Are there anybody else? Is there anybody else that you want to shout out that has helped you continue your mission?
You know, I can't thank my post members enough. I mean, you can't lead if you don't have people that you are able to lead with.
That's true.
And my veterans that have been there, we do tabling here at Buff State every Tuesday from 11 to 1:30. So come see me.
She'll be in the quad.
Yes, right in the student union. And so we're trying to partner with our universities. We're trying to partner with anybody, our small business, because also in the parade, there's going to be a small business section, and there's also going to be our future section. We want our babies to go. I don't care if you got a big wheel, stroller, whatever you coming with. We want this to be so glorious.
I think it's going to be really
Oh my
great.
God, it's going to be something.
Yeah.
And we want everyone to feel proud, to know that, yes, we love you. We see you. We're also working on memorial banners for honoring our African American military heroes.
Because don't we have the only monument in the country?
No.
Okay, someone else has now one. Did we not have the first?
Well, we have it just
Ours
for
is
the veterans for all 12 wars.
Okay.
But girl, have you seen some of the other monuments?
I have
That's
not.
part of the thing. You have the triple nickels. You have the 6 triple.
Can you say what we have that's special though? We have a monument for African American veterans, correct?
Yes, I'm telling you
and
now.
that's special for different cities. A lot of people don't have
Yes, there are
one, so
different things going on, and I've been researching all that stuff because you got to do your research before you say you're going to step out.
You're
and do
very
something.
knowledgeable.
And I mean, the more I read and the more I learn, I am so proud. Oh, so proud.
Yeah, definitely. So for me as a political scientist, like I'm biracial, so the Army was always like, it's like, it's a lot there, right? So then my mom, I always ask her, I'm like, Mom, who in our family, was a serviceman? And she's like, I don't know. And I have this research wall for my Irish family. And when it finally came down, I found that my Irish family fought in every single military excursion since the World War of Independence. And I had a great uncle that died in the Civil War. He was fighting for the Union in Georgia. And I literally sat there for hours and hours and hours. And I cried because like so many families give so much to our country through the military. Shout out to one of my favorite military moms who's also a pastor, Darius Miles' mom. She had 5 babies, I think, that were serving in the military. So, and I just wanted to feel like, what did my family do to contribute, so that's been amazing, to see you know so much about all of the families that gave here locally. Norm, did you want to add anything about your time in our armed forces, or a reflection about the work that's being done?
Well, I put in 3 brief years in the service, and all I know is this: Miss Ransom has been I've reached out to her before. I never followed up like I should have.
Well, we can do that now.
Like I say now, I'm looking forward to getting with you. And I know you do so much for the community. I see you at the VA. I see you all over the place. And as I say, I just know that to take this opportunity is something I have to do now. I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, coming here, I can't thank you all enough for giving me this opportunity to be here.
Oh, I know we have more questions for you. I know all 3 of us have more questions for you. So we'd love to have you back. And I'm really proud of you. So thinking about the way that you have had service inform your leadership, can you say a little bit about some of the values that you learned, or some of the people that you met during your service that motivated you to galvanize people's stories? Because that's really what you're doing. You're not letting any of us forget, which is so important.
But that didn't happen till later. So while I was in the military, you're dealing with the military.
Right.
And there's a lot of racism and sexism in the military.
Yes, there is.
So, and because of that also is why we're doing what we're doing now. How dare you We've given our lives, our commitment, and, our service, our bravery, and how dare we not be recognized. I'm tired of seeing on TV when it's Veterans Day, when it's Memorial Day, when it's all these other veterans days, and we don't see us on TV.
Might I also add the I'm getting ESL, but like the technology, science, and math that African American veterans have contributed to the infrastructure of military history, period. So definitely important that people know that, especially since we want to be such a techie city now.
And you know it.
Yeah, I'm so incredibly proud of what you do, and very inspired by you. And I just want to thank you for coming to spend time with us, and for remaining a storyteller. If you have any advice for anyone that's listening right now that's a member of our armed service that's really trying to kind of search their heart and figure out what's next for them, what advice would you give such a person?
If someone is thinking about going into the military, what I would suggest, and people have come to me with that, do your research.
Sure.
Go online and look up each branch of the military and see what they have to offer. And then from there, see if they have maybe a signing bonus, or they have something else going on that will, make you feel that I'm worth it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in the infantry. You don't have to be in.
But shout out to those who are y'all real ones.
Yes. And so you might want to be a chaplain. You might want to be a journalist.
Or a cook.
Right. And so, but people don't realize that. They don't steer you towards that. And a lot of times, this one girl came to me while I was here at Buff State doing my tabling. And she said that the recruiter was trying to pressure her to go ahead and sign. I said, no, don't be pressured. Find out what you want to do.
It's a lifetime commitment, so I would encourage people to take their time. Shout out to my cousin Joey, who served in the Navy. I went with him to the recruiter's office during the Iraq War, and he was out there for three terms, I think.
Wow.
My cousin Joel, who I may or may not have sent adobo to in the mail in Iraq, he left to go fight for our nation without Rocco and Gandula, and I was like, we got you, Pa. And I just want to say also, I just think that it's our responsibility to continually thank all of the people that support our people who are in armed service.
Yes.
Because just because you're not wearing a uniform, if your husband is, if your father is, if your grandfather is, those are connections that I think are for a lifetime, right? So you want to be really thoughtful about what branch you sign up for. Shout out to all the veterans. I'm not sure if you know, there's a veteran in our Latina community who's a Marine. She's also a Buffalo State alum, so I will be connecting you with her. You already know who she is. And then just my one last question, right, is what is the thing that you learn about yourself in the service that you do? What have you learned about your own self and your perseverance?
Well, I've always known that I've been strong. And I think we as a people don't always give ourselves the credit that's due. The strength that you have, yes, people need to know about it. You need to be able to say something. We don't have the luxury of being modest, because we are losing our youth. We need to be able to show them, no, we're standing tall, we're doing things, but we can't do that if we're afraid to say something. No, speak up. Yeah. Let people know who you are.
Yeah, I agree. And I just want to thank you for your service. I also want to acknowledge our veterans who have served and have been deported, and how sad that makes me, and how I think that there's a lot of areas that we need to work on, but you're doing something really well by sharing all of the history, and, I'm grateful. So please come back to our show.
I sure
And I will meet you at the parade, okay?
Thank you so much.
I am so excited about
Latinos make history every day. Okay. Can you read it for me? Well, how do you say this one? Latinas make history every day. Okay.